Hey, Houston.
What's up?
I got a very important question.
Yeah?
Have you ever heard of Playboy the record label?
No.
You've never heard of Playboy the record label?
No.
Oh, man. Don't you want some fun facts on it?
Sure.
All right, why not? We'll make the video. I got some very important questions.
Okay.
You ever heard of Playboy Record Label?
I have, back in the day.
Did you know any musicians on the record label?
I probably did. I don't anymore because it slipped my memory. But yeah, I remember reading about them. And, I know there was artists that did use it. A lot of country, I think, was on.
Yep, that's one of them.
Barbie Benton. I think she was on Playboy label.
All right. There's a few others.
Yeah.
And they also did some rock.
Okay.
We got a very, very good fun fact. Wait until you hear this one. We'll be back with our Playboy Record Label
Cool. Looking forward to hearing it.
That is a serious amount of lantern flies. Holy cow. Look at that. They're just all hanging out together.
Today, we're here to talk about Playboy Records.
Interesting.
Yes, this is one of the many artists who released on Playboy Records.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What type of music were they into?
Well, they started out in pop. They formed in 1971 in California.
Okay.
Okay, so they were a label. It was one of 5 divisions of Playboy.
Okay.
Okay, because they had the clubs and they had a limousine service, they had a modeling agency, they had the magazines, and then they had entertainment.
Okay.
Because they wanted to bring that great stuff that they were showing you in Playboy magazines to the lives of their customers.
Nice.
Yeah, cool,
You're making
right?
me real nervous holding that record like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, is it going to drop?
No.
Right?
So in 1971, when they first started, it was the fall, they released half a dozen albums and over a dozen singles. And their first one was by the Hudson Brothers.
Okay.
And it hit number 110 on the Billboard, so it just missed that Billboard Hot 100.
All right. Did they produce it and everything?
Yeah, they did everything.
All right.
And then in 1972, they started licensing music from Polar Music, which was a Swedish company, and that included the first incarnation of ABBA.
Disco Queen.
Benny and Bjork.
Really?
Yes, that was the first incarnation of ABBA. And ABBA's manager blamed the low sales of those singles on Playboy's limited distribution network.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back in the 70s, it was pretty hard to get distribution if you weren't a major label.
And you would expect, Playboy to be a big boy. But no, they were a little boy.
All right. Any other cool facts?
I got lots of cool facts.
All right, I got a very important one.
What's that?
So Houston, man, if Playboy wanted to sign you, man, right now, if they said, you know what, we're going to open up Playboy Records right now, would you sign with Playboy Records?
A part of me would want to, but Hugh Hefner's dead, so I feel like it's not as fun. I'd be like, I want to meet Hugh Hefner, and he, unless I could meet like a hologram. If I could meet a Hugh Hefner hologram, that'd be pretty cool. I would sign a contract with a Hugh Hefner hologram.
Just checking.
You want to sign with Hugh Hefner's daughter? She's not good enough? Wow, Houston, wow.
Come on, man, they still got the
I didn't even know he
man.
had a daughter. I mean, it makes sense.
She's in charge now.
I didn't even know who was in charge. I thought, I don't know, like maybe the CIA owned him now. Like, who knows?
Okay.
So in 1974, Playboy branched off into country music, and they opened an office in Nashville with one guy and a 17-year-old secretary.
What?
Yeah. So Mickey Gilley was having a hard time getting a song released, Roomful of Roses, and he was like, so what do we do now, to his manager after like another label said no? And he's like, well, there's another label we could show it to. And he threw him a 45 with the Playboy Bunny on it.
Nice.
Yes. So they had a string of hits with Mickey Gilley.
Okay.
But another reason they might have branched off into country music is because Hugh Hefner's girlfriend was Barbie Benton.
Okay.
And she was on Hee Haw, and she decided she wanted to be a singer, and he told her that she wasn't very good.
What?
Yeah. He
Wow.
told her she wasn't very good, but if that's what she wants to do, okay. and she became a country singer.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see the show Hee Haw?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Were you a fan of her?
Actually, I like the blonde on the show better, but yeah, she was very, very good looking.
All right. Do you think she could sing?
Yeah, for country, she wasn't bad.
All right.
But,
All right.
Yeah,
On the road again.
she had talents, I'm sure.
So all these other labels that were in Nashville with 300, staff, this big huge staff of 300 were like, how is this guy beating us with a 2-person office? They were flabbergasted. So in 1976, they were named the best recording company by CMA, Country Music Association, and that same year, Mickey Gilley won 5 awards at the Country Music Awards.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the best male vocalist, he had the best song, the best single, the best entertainer, and album of the year.
So after that, did everybody want to be signed to Playboy Records?
No, they were a big joke.
Really?
Yeah, the joke was, at least in California, the joke was, if you can't find someone to release it, go to Playboy because they'll take anything.
Did you hear that, dude?
They'll take anything.
But there's one problem with they'll take anything.
And there'll
What's
be a
that?
bunny on the...
Do you know who they said no to?
Who?
Tom Petty.
They said no to
They said
what?
no to Tom
What?
That was a
Petty.
mistake.
No
That
Tom
was a-
Petty.
That was
Yeah.
That's a face palm.
It wasn't Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It was either Tom Petty and the Epics or Mudcruncher.
Okay.
Because it was before the Heartbreakers.
Which is interesting.
But they said no to Tom Petty. So obviously it wasn't, they'll take anybody because they didn't take Tom Petty. And you know how I feel about Tom Petty. You know how I fight with Houston about how he feels with Tom Petty.
What?
No, it's how I feel about Fleetwood Mac. It's Tom Petty's cool.
No, because you told me, it's not that Tom Petty's that good. It's just that he was such a nice guy that everybody wanted to work with him.
Well,
And it's
everybody knows
it's
that.
Like,
He
Houston,
was such a nice
are you
guy.
freaking kidding?
Can you believe this stuff?
Oh,
Tom
my.
Petty is awesome. So yeah, Playboy Records disbanded in 1978. They were making a lot of money with the country portion, but in California, they just weren't. So even with the amount of money that they were making with country, it just wasn't enough to keep the company going. So they sold it for like $690,000.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, this was the 70s,
This
so
was the 70s.
late
So
70s.
that's maybe
And-
almost $1 million in like current money.
It's a couple
and-
million.
Mickey Gilley got a contract with Epic.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they put out some soul music?
Yes, it sounded like they put out a little bit of everything. You know what awesome recording they released?
What?
The last live recording that Lead Belly did before he died.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
See?
I can see
Freaking-
them releasing a lot of jazz too. I don't know for sure, but I can see them being into jazz.
I'm surprised Zappa wasn't there.
That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he was jazz.
That's right.
No, because he was crazy.
Well, he was crazy too. Yeah.
He was
He
avant-garde.
was avant-garde.
Yeah, there you go. Ain't that something?
Yeah, so, they only made it 7 years, but there's still a lot of their labels hanging out. They released a lot of cool people, so it's pretty cool.
They got a bunch of 7 inches. Ton of them. A truck ton. It's interesting.
And I still can't keep Mickey Gilley in stock. How crazy is that?
Man.
Yeah, so they made it there.
You need to go a little bit of country, man. Get rid of the rock and roll. Go a little bit country.
Maybe a punk country.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
What?
Cowpunk.
Do a little.
Yeah, it's like
fusion
folk punk.
there.
Yeah, no, they do have them.
Cowpunk and
Cowpunk, yeah.
Cowpunk.
Nice. All right. Got anything else?
No, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Got
a
anything
short
else?
run record label.
Yes, 7 years, but the gentleman that was running it down in Nashville, he's still in music today.
Okay. I believe they have over 500 releases.
Wow.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of 7 inches.
A
Lot of 7 inches. Yeah.
And since it was the fall, they had a slow start with, a dozen singles and half a dozen albums, but it was fall.
right.
They only had like 3 months.
Man, I'm telling you. If I had a chance, man, that's the one record label I would go on totally. 100%, as long as I get to hang at the house.
Yeah.
I don't care about Hugh. I don't care about his daughter. I just want to hang at the house.
Yeah, having a bunny on the label would be cool.
Right?
Yeah, having the
That's
bunny.
exactly it, man. I mean, that bunny is infamous.
But can we talk about, like, the bunny looks like a secret agent. When I was a kid, I was just like, what's this secret agent bunny? And then as I got older, I was like, oh,
Okay,
It's not a secret
It's almost
agent.
about time a spy versus spy. From
Yeah, I
that
guess it
magazine,
could've been.
So I could see that. Yeah.
But I mean,
No.
like, you look at the logo and you're like, it's James Bond the Rabbit, and then you're like, no, it's just sexy ladies.
Now, here's my very important question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever subscribed to Playboy?
Yeah, I did. I'm still. Well, no. Actually, they stopped the magazine recently.
Okay.
Yeah. So my subscription is done. I used to be a member of the Playboy Club for a while, for about 10 years. I
Now-
had a card and everything.
I
Cool.
I know exactly why you joined.
Why is that?
It's totally for the articles.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Those articles were amazing.
They were. Do you know how many times they interviewed the Beatles and Zappa?
Believe it or not,
and-
there's a lot of good stuff in their magazines to read.
Yeah. No, I mean there really was. I mean, I know everybody's like, oh yeah, whatever, dude. But no, those magazines actually had legitimate articles from musicians that they interviewed and all different types
Honestly,
of stuff.
when I first got it, it was about the pictures.
Of
But
course.
There's only so many pictures you can look at there. The articles are very good. The interviews were very good. They had a lot of good stuff. You can trace the history of this country from the 60s on up by looking at it, because they were very topical of what was going on. So
Absolutely.
it's nice to read those. You can look back on, what was going on in the country at that time.
I mean, they also had a lot of baloney articles too, I must
absolutely.
say.
Oh, yeah.
But the musician ones were pretty good.
They were good, yeah.
I mean, hooking up your hi-fi stereo system doesn't exactly apply to me today. I'm just saying, I'm
Well,
pretty
they're
good at
hi-fi
that.
now.
I don't know about the bologna articles, but the mashed potato ones were pretty good.
Oh yeah. Come on, dude, man. We know. We know. How do you feel about Playboy today?
I don't know much about Playboy today.
Me neither.
I only know that his daughter was running it previously. I don't know if she is now, but just recently.
His son, I think, actually took over part of it. I think they were together. His one
It's
son, I
probably
can't
like-
think of his name, but he took it over.
He's not Hugh Hefner Jr.?
No, I can't think of his name. I know it's a weird name.
I bet you they got their fingers in so many different businesses. It's not even
Yeah.
funny.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, what does it become now? Well, it's probably got to be like an Instagram account, and then they have to probably have like a reality show on YouTube, and then it almost has nothing to do with the
They used to
magazine.
have a Playboy channel. I
The
don't know if that
Girls
still
Next
exists.
Door.
That's what I mean.
They
Yeah,
had
they
a
probably,
reality
Yeah,
on it was like on
probably like
MTV or
VH1
something.
or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But I saw an interview with his daughter, and actually I think at that point that he was still alive, and she'd just taken over because he was getting older and it was time for him to
she
retire.
took over as editor-in-chief
Yeah.
for quite a while.
Do you feel that?
I mean,
Do
he
you-
almost lived to be 100.
Do you feel that Playboy is still relevant?
I think it could be. I don't know. They changed it a little bit. I like the new format. The magazine was a little bit bigger in size, but they only did it like 4 times a year.
Okay.
But yeah, the articles are still good.
How are the pictures?
They were always good. I mean, they were never obscene. That's the one thing I like.
They're airbrushed to death.
Yeah,
man.
and they weren't in bad taste. So I always liked the pictures in it, and they were artistic.
I prefer Hustler. It was like a pack of lies.
Yeah, oh,
It
absolutely.
was so awesome.
A pack of lies.
It was so
Just go to
awesome.
this corner store and just get me a pack of lies.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. It was like
And
the
a side
National
of, like-
Enquirer
I like
for.
how they brought Playboy into everything. How there was always a reference to Playboy, like Fresh Prince of
Yes.
Bel Air, and Hillary was going to pose for Playboy, and Uncle Phil went to a
Yes.
monastery, and then it comes out and he looks at it and everything's covered by clouds, and he was like, "Okay, I can go back to my regular
Looking
life."
at a Playboy magazine was almost like a rite of passage when I was growing up. You find one when you're 10 or 11.
That's why I asked you if it was still relevant.
Yeah,
because
but
back
I
in the
think it
day,
is, but
that
now
was like
everything's online. Playboy is online now too. That's what they wanted to change my subscription to, an online subscription. But I don't.
You're
I don't.
like, "No, that's gonna give me a headache." I
Yeah, the
don't like that
magazine.
backlight."
It's something to read.
How do you feel about Playboy, man?
I mean, like,
Do you feel it represents culture today?
I feel like honestly, it's like it sucks. I feel like the only magazines that are left are very few. I mean, I like magazines, but like, I think if anything, the only magazines that'll be around at some point are just zines, the underground magazines, because people are always gonna put like show information and interviews of bands and
So
like
what you're trying to
pop
tell me?
culture.
So what you're trying to tell me is the punk culture is real.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, it's just like used record stores. I think that's like down with the Capitol. All the major labels and everything are gonna fall
Yeah, you
apart.
tell 'em. Oh,
And
sorry,
all
man.
that's gonna be left is like record stores and VHSs and zines will just be our underground collective. We'll meet in the sewers and we'll just hang out with our like out of date media. Yeah, we'll hang out with the Ninja Turtles and eat pizza and just use our out of date media as everybody else just uses their smartphone for everything, and we just hide in the dark.
First, you got to take the chip out of your ear. What? You know the microchip? You know that microchip? Yeah, they shoved it real far in there.
You know, everybody, it's like, the people that'll actually read magazines are just trying to avoid Big Brother because they know he's watching.
There is no avoiding Big Brother anymore, man. There's none. There's absolutely none. They can shove a probe up your
I would
ass
say-
from 3,000 feet, dude.
I'd say that tell that to
saying.
a guy that lives like in a hole in the ground in like Wyoming. I feel like he probably is avoiding Big Brother.
He feels like he's hooked up, but he's not.
He's hooked up.
I'm telling you.
He's got a nice rock that he lives under.
All right. So, what'd you think of our interview of?
I liked it. It was good.
Interesting.
Maybe starting to think about my younger years. You know.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. All right. We out of here.
I guess.
All right. Aliens. This
They
video.
had a record label. Playboy had a record label.
That's right. I'm telling
Mind
you, man.
blown.
Houston and Dirty Rats would rock down there.
I'm surprised they didn't sign any punk bands. I'm surprised that like the Ramones didn't get it like a single on.
They got
Playboy.
thrown out that house so fast it wasn't even funny.
I'm sure Dee Dee caused too much trouble.
Yeah, man. They sedated the whole house and it was just done. All right, all right. So I see you got a new hat rack.
Yeah, I had to do something for that hat. That's not one of my hats I can just lay around. That one's got to be stored correctly. The always store hat on its crown.
Yes, the My Chemical Romance little blind boxes. It's now empty. It's the perfect hat rack for your hat, isn't it?
That's right. It works very well.
Okay, repurposing. There you go, Santa.
I'm good at repurposing things.
Nice. Did you think of that one?
No, I would have never thought of that one.
All right, let's get that. So yesterday, we ran a competition, a contest, to see how many dollars came out of our crane machine. We didn't have a single winner. Not a single. I'm disappointed. I need you all to go back to yesterday's video and watch the ending 20 seconds. I put some special hints on there that would have made it. You had a 1 in 33 chance. 1 in 33. So all you had to do was guess. And you would have had it. 1 in 33. So if somebody would have said 72, and somebody would have said 74, 76, 78, all the way to 132, you would have had it. It was 1 in 33 chance. I'm just saying. And you seen that big knot she broke out of that machine? How you gonna tell me that was 25, man? You know what? You better get some glasses. I need some glasses too. Screw it, man. This is our first time eating out in public.
I know, it's very exciting.
What?
Mm-hmm.
We are at the Olive Garden in Easton.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Of course, you gotta get the salad.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
I mean, it's friggin' Olive Garden. You gotta get the salad and the breadsticks.
Yeah, you don't want to be like some people who come out dinner for two and one gets the soup because they figure the other one won't finish their salad.
Raviolis. The lunch portion. What you get?
Lasagna, the lunch portion.
Very good. All right. We still save some breadsticks. Awesome. So how was Olive Garden?
Spectacular.
Yeah?
Their lunch portions are the perfect size.
Really?
Yes.
And what did you think of dining inside after a couple of months?
It was magical. I forgot that the salad plates were chilled.
That's right. And then they give us our Andes candies. Olive Garden mints, which are awesome. They're really minty, the way I like them. All right. Pretty good overall experience. Olive Garden rocks.
Yeah, I left them all, 5 out of 5s on their survey thing when I paid.
All right. Do you think they'll ever guess where we are?
I don't know if they'll figure it out. But now they gotta leave us a comment and let us know what they thought of our Playboy Records video. They gotta give us a like, a big old thumbs up, because everyone likes thumbs up, because when you do good, you get good. And then they have to subscribe. Ring that bell, ding, 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 because we do a video like this a lot, and we'll see you soon.
Not like this.
Not like this.
I wonder where we could be. Aliens. The beautiful Phillipsburg Mall where Sears once stood. Man. We had a big old giant store. Woohoo! Speed bump. Still standing. Mall is not opened currently and probably will never ever be opened again. but we just wanted to drive around it and see what's what. Missed the old Bonton that used to be right here. And they ripped all these down while our store was opened, which was interesting. But it was pretty much right when they finished this, they called it and shut the entire mall down. I see our door from here. Oh yeah, nothing like looking at a flat piece of ground. That used to be the loading dock for Bonton. And there's our door.
There's our door.
Right there, right between the white sign. Do you miss it?
I do.
You miss it, right?
I do. I miss this mall. I miss being in Jersey. I do miss it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. There's only one thing left here. And that is the Kohl's. Yep, Black Rose, nothing's open. The whole mall is not open. Wah, wah, wah. Except for Kohl's. Kohl's is the last holdout because they own their property. Interesting. And they got some traffic.
Yeah, there's people.
All right. Aliens. Doo-doo-doo-doo.